And now that we're done with Oracle of Ages, we move on to the second half of the Oracle Saga, Oracle of Seasons. If you recall, at the end of Ages, we got a code, which I will now plug into this game to begin a linked version of the game that includes a few minor alterations. I get 1 extra heart, I get my sword in a completely different way, and a lot of the characters say different things, and there's more cameos.
Oh, really? I didn't know half of those things had changed.
You still get the intro cutscene that's pretty much the same, except in Ages, it's in a sunset, and this one, it's in the middle of broad daylight, but they both start the same way. Link shows up, and the Triforce is like, yo, it's mission time, let's go.
That's an awfully large castle from the outside. Why is it only this one room on the inside?
It's the Triforce. It's special. Don't question it.
It's bigger on the outside?
Isn't it always?
No, it's often bigger on the inside. Or smaller on the outside if you prefer.
That's usually the logic when they design these temples and stuff. Alright. So I'm gonna...
Brontosaurus asks, MVM, is Linked Seasons better than Linked Ages?
I have yet to play Linked Seasons, or Linked Ages. Alright, so someone in chat said that they had a picture of the code, if you could link it. Or hopefully they were modded.
I've got it.
Cool. I believe the first one was lowercase t, tilde.
It's either a T or a cross.
It's lowercase t. It looks like a cross.
It does look like a cross, like especially it stands out as against all the other letters.
Yep.
Then it's a tilde, yeah. Then capital D, capital R.
Hold on, capital D, capital R.
Diamond.
Diamond.
Capital Y.
Capital Y.
Down arrow.
Down arrow.
Cross. T.
Another
Sorry,
T.
I just realized there's something that could also be interpreted as a cross. I'm gonna stop saying that. It's T.
Okay.
Yeah. And then capital D.
Capital D.
I'm gonna assume it's a what is that? Spade.
Okay. Does it have a pointy top or does it have a rounded top?
Rounded top.
Clover.
Sorry, rounded top. Yeah, clover. I wanted to say Canadian flag, but that's not true. Canadian maple leaf. No, not that one. Not that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you got it. And then rectangle.
Next.
Circle.
Okay.
Capital N.
Uh-huh.
M.
Lowercase m?
Yeah, lowercase m.
Alright. Next.
Exclamation mark.
This really is the least intuitive code system ever created.
Square.
Okay.
Dollar sign. Lowercase s.
Lowercase s.
After the dollar sign, you got that?
Dollar sign, lowercase s.
Tilde.
Tilde again.
And then, left parentheses.
And there we go. And see, it even carries over our name.
Oh, so, okay, so can you change it, though?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, cool. That was a question I had.
But we totally get a thrusting rod animation.
Yeah, why do we... Oh, that's the Rod of Seasons.
Exactly. And we get a new intro cutscene.
It looks like the Fire Rod, which would be really cool.
Yeah, because Varen got everyone sad for one moment. The flame of sorrow or despair got lit. And everything we did was pretty much for nothing. Way to go, Ganon. Worst hero ever. And we still gotta accept the quests. Like, Triforce, I already accepted your quest once. It's okay. You don't gotta ask every single time. Especially if you're just gonna throw me in the adventure anyways. Okay, so here's one of the differences. Normally, these guys say that they're a troupe of performers, but in the Link version, they say that they're Hylian knights.
So, were they lying before, or?
No, it's their cover. Only now they reveal the truth that they're actually knights.
Right.
You have to talk to all of them. And here's Impa, no longer possessed. Also,
How are you both here and there, Impa?
I don't get how
Yeah,
she traveled. Because we traveled by means of the Triforce. How the hell did she get here?
Yeah, exactly. If they can get here, why did we need to be teleported here?
I don't know. And then Impa's like, oh, Zelda told me to come. Okay, that's cool. Why you're here? How?
I don't know why, but for some reason, when you got transported to these dimensions, when you got transported, I always figured that you had gone to like a different dimension, not just like a different geographic location.
No, it's geographical because you'll see at the end that we leave. Well, we'll be leaving Holodrum. And we'll be leaving on a raft, which, what game starts with you on a raft?
Right.
There you go. Also, here's some fine dancing. And you are a hero of a special fate. Like Nero, I am also targeted, but I refuse to fall. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind, Din.
Is it the same Din as in the fire spell?
Yes. And yes, there is some debate on whether the oracles are the same as the gods. And honestly, what I think is that the oracles are more avatars to the gods. So,
What you mean, like in a similar way that Zelda is to the goddess of Hylia?
kind of. Sort of that, like, they draw their power from their god, but they're not like the god reincarnate. They're more like, I don't know. I just know that they're not the same, exact same. Like, this Din is not the goddess Din, because why would she get herself captured this fucking easily? And what do you do when you're in a giant secluded castle with a woman all to yourself? Huh? Anyone? Anyone?
Absolutely nothing.
If you answered, put her in a giant crystal, you were right, and you should probably get yourself checked, because that's a really dumb answer.
But first, chain into a rock, because, oh, and somehow the chains... Wait, wow, that is a giant rupee. How much do you think that's worth? A billion?
Gonna sell Din.
They would just rescue her and be like, hey, how many bombs will this buy?
How many potions can I get with this?
I always found this, like, what happened to this world so much, like, I care so much less.
Really? I care so much more. This is messed up.
Oh no, the seasons have changed and things are messed up weather-wise, as opposed to, holy shit, suddenly my grandson doesn't exist and huge changes have occurred and there's slavery and there's giant power. Like, I think what's gone on in ages is much more significant.
So here's one huge difference. You get your sword right away, so no Hero's Cave. You skip the entire tutorial dungeon, because it's a tutorial, and you already did one. You know how to clearly play Zelda.
Does that happen for the Link game as well as the non-Linked game?
No, in non-Linked, you have to go through tutorial dungeon to get your sword.
Okay. So that's not just a difference between ages and seasons.
Nope.
Oh yeah, forgot about this guy.
Yep. They also have a tree, but this is not tree waifu. This is just tree. Also, he's supposed to be Din's guardian. Why would you have a tree guard a person? The person can be anywhere, but the tree is kind of stuck.
And also, the tree was asleep.
Yeah, so the tree is really,
Just slept through the whole thing.
really bad.
So yeah, do not forget that we have met both of our donation incentives.
Yep. Alright.
Which reminds me, we had some donations come in. At least one donation come in at the end of Oracle of Ages. Didn't have time to read before we finished that, so we'll read that off now.
Alright.
So this donation for $5 comes from Inusora Girl,
Thank you.
who says, "Oh, HellfireComms, congratulations on getting 8,000, but I have troubling new. Insora Girl has returned to the hospital. Her heart is semi-failing, so we're asking any... This is not very happy.
Yeah.
So we're asking any prayer. I am in no way trying to ask for anything, just hope. Sincerely, Insora Fiance."
Well, we wish you and your loved ones the best. And
Yeah,
that
that-
everyone gets out healthy and happy. So, I don't know if I went over this with Ages, but the Oracle games originally started as a remake of Zelda 1 for the Game Boy Color. And what happened was, when that got cancelled, a lot of the ideas that they had going into that Zelda 1 remake ended up in Seasons. Not so much in Ages, but Seasons carries it over. If you guys remember, I played Zelda 1, and in the first dungeon looked like a bird. Well, the first dungeon of Seasons looks like a bird as well. It's also a tree on an island, the same as the first game.
So you're saying they didn't redesign the dungeons again?
Well, the dungeons themselves are unique.
Right, but the layouts...
Yeah, there's similarities. Also, you start with 4 hearts instead of 3, which is pretty cool.
Dragon says, that looks like nothing like a bird.
Please, it's the best you can get for a dungeon, alright? Also, these are dungeons more my speed.
So you think your estimate of 3 hours is gonna
Hell
be
no.
more accurate this time?
No. Just as inaccurate,
Alright.
if not more.
Is that because you forgot to account for the trading sequence and Master Sword quest?
That and maybe a few snags in other dungeons. I don't know. Bonk. Bonk. Let's go. This dungeon also has the same mini boss as the first dungeon in Zelda 1. It's got Guerrilla Brothers.
I can definitely already see that this dungeon is throwing more advanced combat at you earlier on.
And mini boss done.
I clearly need to refresh, because I just got to the beginning of the fight when you said done. Oh, it wasn't very long anyway.
Yeah, you only need to kill one of them. They share a health bar, so...
Wait, why did I refresh the screen? That's a bad idea. Stop. Just stop. Okay, good. I stopped it.
And kind of like with the first dungeon in Ages, you get your item in a little 2D section. In Zelda 1, that item was a bow and arrow. Or it was the bow. You don't get arrows until later.
Alright, sweet. I stopped the refresh in time. I'm still in the chat. I'm still in the stream. Forgot about that.
And I'm gonna kill these enemies now because you need to kill them for the south door to be open. And stab.
It does look like the Twitch server is starting to slowly come back, though.
Boss key.
Oh, I did just refresh on a separate tab, and it worked just fine.
Nice. Push that block. Walk on over. And like I said, floor masters in the first dungeon.
Yeah, people are saying this is a quick dungeon, but come on, like, this is the first dungeon. We just went from the 8th dungeon to the first dungeon. Of course, the complexity is going to drop a little bit.
Just a bit. And it's the same boss as the first dungeon in Zelda 1 Aquamentus.
And we have our first Essence of Seasons?
Nature.
Nature? Oh, Essence of Nature, right.
Yeah, Ages has time, Seasons has nature, so...
Oh, did we eventually work that out? It was time? Essences of time?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep, so I'm hoping that some of you guys who are around for Zelda 1, like, the similarities are super evident now. Or at least more so than they were before.
Was it Zelda 1 that you could take the shape of the dungeons and spell out the word Zelda?
That was in Quest 2. But yeah, it was in Zelda 1. But
That's basically New Game Plus?
Yes.